Fancy and I were trying to remember things to help prove that I didn't violate her that night at the mansion.
Let me get this straight. You let Eve hypnotize you?
Yeah, after she hypnotized me.
For God's sakes, Louise, where was your brain?
Well, what's the big deal if we both remembered the same thing?
Were you in the same room when Louise was being hypnotized by Eve?
Yes.
And what about you? Were you in the same room with Fancy when she was being hypnotized?
Yes.
Oh, don't you know any better? Now the DA can tell the jury that you planted suggestions inside Fancy's head while she was under hypnosis. Suggestions of your innocence.
I didn't do that.
We have no official proof to the contrary.
Well, Eve can testify on my behalf.
Well, Eve's reputation isn't exactly sterling after all those lies came out. Remember?
Yeah, I never thought of that.
Yeah, you weren't thinking at all. You managed to taint evidence from your own investigation.
Wait, Chief, is it really that bad?
If Luis goes on trial, and either one of you are asked to testify, Luis could spend the rest of his life behind bars. I knew. Letting you try to clear your name with Miguel's while being suspended was a bad idea. But I trusted you to at least not make a bad situation worse, and that's exactly what you've done.
Well, not necessarily, okay? Sam, listen to me. We now know that it's possible that there was a woman in Fancy's room the night that she was attacked. Now, what if this woman got my DNA first and planted it in Fancy?
Luis, what you're suggesting is insane.
Well,
it's far-fetched.
It is not. Not if someone is setting me up. Have Fancy tell you, please. Sam, come on, just, you gotta help me clear this up. For all of our sakes.
What did Eve say you remembered while you were under hypnosis?
Well, believe it or not, both Luis and I had the sense that a woman was involved in the attack at the mansion.
Told you.
This doesn't make any sense. I mean, how could a woman violate you? You and Luis both sensed a woman inside the mansion the second time you were attacked.
I know it sounds weird, but yes.
Luis told me before you confirmed it. Look, I still can't get my head around it.
Yeah, we can't either.
Well, it does explain how I could confuse being intimate with a woman dressed in a cheerleader uniform with Fancy.
The transfer of your DNA from this woman to Fancy. Yeah. I mean, besides, how could a woman be strong enough to even pull off such a violent attack?
Well, that's possible.
Look, even so, how could one person, much less two, get into a locked bedroom at a secured mansion while you were in the room?
Well, maybe they hid on the estate beforehand.
Or maybe Scotty beamed them in directly.
It's the Crane Mansion. My grandfather has secret passages put in all over the place. Maybe the attacker or attackers could have used them.
Got a point there, Sam. Remember New Year's Eve? Alistair fell out of that secret panel in the living room?
Look, I know you want to clear Luis's name. I do, too. But if this goes to trial and you testify, the DA will use your feelings for Luis against him.
Yeah, but if I tell the truth...
But you have no proof of that. All the evidence points to Luis as being guilty. And your investigation will reek of a self-serving cover-up.
Well, Sam, the whole reason that you paired me with Fancy is because you knew that she wouldn't cover up if I had raped her.
That was before Ray turned up dead with your St. Christopher medal in her hand. Now, open your eyes, people. This is going from bad to worse at warp speed. Now, if you testify, God help you both.
I'm not scared of the DA.
Oh, really? I want you to sit here. Sit down. Now, I'm going to be the DA, and you're going to be you.
Sam, do we really have to do this?
I want Fancy to see what she's getting herself involved in if this goes to trial. Now, are you ready for this?
Sam, seriously, come on. You're going to upset Fancy for nothing. Cut it out.
Not if she realizes how bleak your future looks if you go on trial for murder and rape.
It's okay, Luis. I can handle myself. Ask me anything you want, Mr. DA.
All right. Ms. Crane, it's your assertion that you were in a locked bedroom at your family's estate surrounded by security when you were attacked.
Correct.
You've also stated that the only other person in your room with you was Officer Lopez Fitzgerald.
That's true, but we both...
Moving on. Ms. Crane, are you in love with Lopez Fitzgerald?
What difference does it make if I am or not?
It's simple, really. All the evidence points to Luis being the attacker that night at the mansion. His DNA was found inside you, yet you refuse to believe that he raped you. Now, why is that, Miss Crane? Why do you refuse to believe, despite concrete proof to the contrary, that Luis Lopez Fitzgerald violently attacked you?
Because he wouldn't do that.
Why not?
He just wouldn't.
Why not? If Lopez Fitzgerald didn't rape you, then what did he do?
I don't know.
Yet you still feel the need to protect him. Why?
Because I love him. All right? I love Luis.
So you admit you're in love with the defendant, Luis Lopez Fitzgerald?
Yes, but that has nothing to do with how I approached our investigation of the charges against him. My police training has taught me to be impartial.
Who was your instructor? Who was your instructor at the police academy?
Officer Lopez Fitzgerald.
And is it not true that in the course of your training that you and the defendant made a porno tape?
Oh, God.
Yeah.
And is it not true that you were repeatedly reprimanded by the chief of police for fraternizing with each other in violation of police policy?
All right, stop it, Sam. We get the picture.
Well, I hate to say this, but once you admit loving Luis in court, the jury will think that he's manipulated you all along.
Nancy, I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry, Luis. Everything I did since I've signed up to be a cop has hurt you. I mean, going undercover at the club and giving you a lap dance in front of witnesses and making that skin flick and tempting you to be with me, even though it was against regulations. And if you hadn't been alone with me that night in my princess room when I was attacked, you couldn't have been charged with rape. And without that, you wouldn't have been a suspect in Ray's murder. So all of this, everything that's happened has been my fault.
Fancy.
No, it's
Don't.
true. What Sam said is right. If I say I love you in court, it would be the last nail in your coffin. And it would be because of me, because of my loving you, that you would end up in prison.
You know what, Fancy? You're getting yourself all worked up over nothing. I'm not going to prison because I'm innocent. And I'm going to prove it by finding whoever it was who's responsible for hurting you. He or she or they're going down. I'm going to prove it. I swear it, Fancy.
Can I go home now, Chief? Please, I'm really tired.
Of course.
Thanks.
Fancy, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It opened my eyes to just how bad things really are. And my part in making that happen.
Fancy, please, would you stop blaming yourself for this, okay? It's not your fault.
Good night.
I'll have a car take you home just to be safe.
No, wait, I'll give you a ride home.
No bother. Don't bother, I'll be fine.
Well, I'm going to get to work on finding out whoever did this. I'm going to clear my name and Miguel's.
Could this day have been any worse? Charged with raping me, and now a prime suspect in Ray's murder. Maybe things will get better. Maybe my attacker will be found after all. Fancy. There you are. Aunt Sheridan, I saw the news on TV. What are you talking about? You stupid bitch! You ruined Luis's life. That's what I'm talking about.